Hey everybody, Mark here from 8-Minute Axe, and I'm really excited to make this video today. One of the things that I really wanted to do when I started this channel was to make videos on demand for viewers. And one of my viewers, Rob from Illinois, asked me to make a video about rhythm playing and how to practice to a metronome. And I can't think of a better and more fundamental lesson than that, so that's what this video is going to be about. I know that rhythm playing isn't always the most exciting thing. It's not as sexy as a solo, but it's the most important thing. Before we can go on and solo and do all the fun things that we like to do on guitar, if we're not keeping a rock steady rhythm, we're never going to get asked back to a gig. We're not going to be able to play with other players. I mean, you have to be able to keep time to play with other players. So we're going to keep this pretty basic. We're going to go through it pretty quickly. Before we get started though, I do want to ask you, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And please hit the like button if you like the video. Your support really is appreciated. The more viewers I get, the more excited I get about making these videos. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump right into it. So all you need for this lesson is a guitar and a cell phone. And if we go to Google and we type in the browser metronome, a metronome comes right up. So if you don't know what a metronome is, it is a device that keeps time. And it's measured in beats per minute. And you see 100 there. So if I click play, it's clicking 100 beats for every minute. So in relation, a clock is obviously 60 beats a minute. And now the metronome is keeping in time with time. So we're going to start at 80 beats a minute, which is a good moderate tempo. Because the only thing more difficult than playing to a fast tempo or trying to keep time to a fast tempo is trying to keep time to a slow tempo. If we slow that thing all the way down to like 40 beats per minute, it's really hard to get that internal clock to feel the subdivisions of the beat. So want to find something that's not too fast, but not too slow either. And 80 is a good place to start. So we're going to start with whole notes. We're going to cover whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes in this video. And we're going to cover them playing a single note as well as strumming chords. So whole notes is 1 beat per measure. And when I mention measure, I'm going to throw a little bit of music theory at you. We're going to be in 4/4 time for this whole lesson. And what 4/4 time means, the top 4 means 4 beats to a measure. And when I say the top 4, if you've ever seen 4/4 written at the beginning of a piece of music, that's 4/4 time, common time. And the top number, again, the top 4 means 4 beats to a measure. And the bottom number means a quarter note gets 1 beat. In 4/4 time, the way we're going to count is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the whole note is always going to be on the 1. So the whole note is always going to be on that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's practice that again with single notes. Again, we're just playing the A, the 2nd fret, 3rd string. I'm using my first finger. So whole notes at 80 beats a minute. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should practice that for about a minute. You want to make sure that you're playing right on the beat, right on the 1. If you find yourself rushing or falling behind, just keep doing it until you can get it real steady. So let's try chords now. We're going to strum an E chord. And again, we're going to strum on the first count of each measure. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to go to half notes now. So half notes are going to be twice as many beats per measure. We're going to play a note on the 1 and the 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, we're going to start with our A, our 2nd fret, 3rd string, at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's try it with chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, you should be practicing these for at least a minute apiece. If you have the patience, 2 and 3 minutes is even better. And you'll be surprised at how much better you'll get, even at more complex stuff, just by going back to basics and practicing these whole notes and these half notes, just keeping rock solid time. So let's go to quarter notes now. Now, quarter notes, earlier I said 4/4 is 4 beats to a measure, and the quarter note gets 1 beat. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to give each click 1 beat or 1 note. So let's start with the A note again. I'm going to play on every single beat. Okay, and again, practice that for a minute or so, and we'll move to chords now. So we're going to do the E chord at 80 beats per minute, playing quarter notes, or strumming quarter notes. Okay, and practice that for a minute. Okay, so let's move on to eighth notes now. So there are 8 eighth notes in a measure, and the way we count that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we play on every number and on every and. So rather than playing quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, now we're twice as fast. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, what we're going to do also is we're going to do an upstroke with our picking. If you're using a pick, we're going to do what's called alternate picking. We're going to pick down on the 1 and up on the and down on the 2 and up on the and. So let's try eighth notes at 80 beats a minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now chords gets a little more tricky as well. Okay, so what we're going to do with the chords is we're going to do a downstroke for the 1 and an upstroke for the and. So it's going to sound like this. You want to get a nice even strum going down and a nice even strum going up. So let's jump right into it with the E chord at 80 beats, eighth notes. 2, 3. Okay, now a couple things I want to mention. One is if you're using an electric guitar for this lesson, I do recommend that you play with a clean sound. Definitely no delay, chorus. You could use a little bit of distortion if you want to, but the cleaner you are, the tighter the sound is going to be and the more precise you're going to be able to hear whether or not you're playing right on the downbeat. The other thing is I would recommend that you practice to a metronome and not to a drum loop to start with. There's a lot of great drum loops out there, but again, the busier the drum beat is, the more clicks there are, the more notes there are, the more it's going to be able to hide whether or not you're in time or not. So the simpleness of that click, the unforgiving steady beat of that click will really help you get perfect time. It's a little bit annoying sometimes, but trust me, the payoff is great. It's going to make you a much better player. We're going to mix it up a little bit now. We're going to play quarter notes with chords, but we're going to switch between 2 chords. We're going to switch between the E chord and the A chord. So on the 1 and the 3, we're going to play the E chord, and on the 2 and the 4, we're going to play the A chord. So it's going to go like this. Let's see if we can play it in time at 80 beats. Okay, so it's really important to switch the chords as well when you're practicing. And I do recommend you use every chord combination that you could think of, or every chord combination that you would normally use. C to G to D is another good one. Let's try it with that. Let's do, we'll do, okay. Okay, let's get a little daring now, and let's try that with eighth notes. So we're going to do the strum pattern. All right, let's practice that. Now, if you get all that down, you're ready to move on to the next lesson. And I'm going to make another video where we're going to cover triplets and syncopated rhythms and 16th notes and some other good stuff. But for now, there's plenty to work on. Okay, that's all I've got for this lesson. There's a lot to practice, though. It seems very simple, and it can be very simple, but take the time, spend 2 or 3 minutes with each of those time subdivisions, with each of those notes, and practice the single notes, practice the chords, practice your alternate picking, practice your alternate strumming as well. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Your support is really appreciated. Please like the video and have an amazing day.